I'm really sorry. Zenitsu, it's all my fault. No, it can't be helped. After school, Tanjiro headed for the infirmary to pick up Zenitsu. Seeing that Tanjiro was bowing and deeply apologetic, Zenitsu shook his head weakly while lying on the bed. Even if the salmon suddenly got replaced with yellowtail, it's not your fault. If there's anything to blame, then it would be my foul luck. Ha 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 ha. Zenitsu looked out of the window with a distant gaze, and his friend frowned, not able to bear the sight. Then Tanjiro purposely put on a cheerful expression and said, actually, Zenitsu, I've been thinking after that, How about talking to other teachers other than Tomioka-sensei? You mean look for teachers other than Tomio, that guy? Zenitsu threw up a bit and he frantically changed his way of addressing Tomioka, such as, Tanjiro thought about it. Yuzu-sensei from arts class? No, we definitely can't find that buddy-sensei. I really hate that guy. Then let's look for Kyogwa-sensei from music class. Doesn't Kyogwa-sensei become unwell once he sees you? In actual fact, Tanjiro was so tone-deaf that it was unimaginable, but the person involved was not aware of it. So, once he heard Zenitsu say that, Tanjiro tilted his head in confusion and continued to be deep in thought. Soon after, Tanjiro's expression lit up. And no, let's find Ringoku-sensei. Right, let's do it, Zenitsu yelled as he leapt out of the infirmary bed. Ringoku-sensei also has quite a character. He won't lose to Tomi, he won't lose to that guy. And he's a nice person. Ringoku Kaijiro was a history teacher who was passionate about teaching, and he was full of love for both history and his students. Even though he did not really listen to other people talk, he was popular with the students and was stably in the champion seat for the most loved teacher in Kimetu's academy. Some maniac supporters even said my heart is fluttering when he rolls up his shirt sleeves and reveals those toned muscular arms of his. I want to be Sensei's tie clip. I hope he will always be this amazing and young, as he gave off the image of being fresh and honest. It was rumored that a lot of people tried to introduce him to potential marriage partners, and he had to make a huge effort to reject them. But where would Ringoku-sensei be at this time? Perhaps he's in the staff room. Ringoku-sensei is in the library. Suddenly a voice could be heard from the neighboring bed, and Zenitsu jumped up in fright. Through the gap between the curtains that partitioned the beds, they could see the unhappy face of a male student. Hello. Zenitsu bowed slightly to greet him while still feeling terrified. Sorry, we were too noisy. Tanjiro apologized sincerely, but the male student still maintained his expression of displeasure. If you know that you're noisy, then get out. I hate it the most when others are disturbing me when I'm lying in the infirmary where Tamayo-sensei is and listening carefully to the sound of Tamayo-sensei working through these partition curtains, the male student said with hate and forcefully pulled the curtains close. Right after that, the curtains on the other side were pulled open and the school doctor, Tamayo-sensei, poked her head through the gap. Era Agustima-kun, you're awake, that's good. Yes, thank you. Even though you don't look that awful now. Don't push yourself. Please lie down for another 30 minutes. Tamayo showed a gentle and compassionate smile. In a split second, from behind the curtain there seemed to be a grudge emanating from it that seemed to say, scram. I'm fine already. I'm going back. Thank you very much. Feeling that aura which was full of killing intent, the two frantically gave their thanks and dashed out of the infirmary as though they were running away. That had to be the king of the infirmary, Yushiru. It was said that he spent far more time in the infirmary than in the classroom, and he would not forgive anyone who approached the infirmary, even those who were seriously ill. Also, no one knew how old he was, which year and which class he was in, and it was completely unknown if he was even a student of Kimetu's academy when the two reached the library. The above-mentioned teacher was just about to leave. Ringoku-sensei, oh what? Looking for me? Lads, the history teacher said while flashing a charming, refreshing smile. He was holding books with titles such as Goal, Bento Man, 365 Days Super Delicious Bento, Most Loved Bento for Children 3, and others that made one want to make a retort. Say it, it should be you asking, right? Zenitsu and Tanjiro were quietly pushing the responsibility onto each other. However, Ringoku did not notice the strange expressions on both their faces. He was not a slow person, but he was not skilled at dealing with trivial things, and he did not read the mood. Having no other choice, Tanjiro could only do the talking, and he asked him, if I didn't remember wrongly, Sensei, you're staying at your own home, right? May I know if you're married? I'm staying with my parents and younger brother. I'm not married yet. Why do you ask? Kamado lad, are you making your own bento? You mean these? Ringoku finally sensed what was going on and he grinned, showing his pearly white teeth. My mother has been busy with work lately, so I would like to prepare bento for my younger brother in her place. That was what Ringoku said. Even though my skills can never match my mother's, I would still like to cook some things that Sendro likes to eat. The truth was nothing too out of this world, and it made people feel warm and fuzzy after hearing it. Very unlike Tomioka, who made people feel repulsed every time he opened his mouth. Why, do you two want to try cooking as well? If it's not too much trouble, you can come over to my house later. No, it's not that. We have something that we want to discuss with you. Sensei, faced with such a frank invitation, Tanjiro quickly replied, right? Zenitsu, that's right. Actually, it has something to do with Tomioka Sensei. Tomioka, are you talking about my colleague Tomioka Gio? Yes, actually I want to quit being a prefect of the Morals Committee. But Tomioka Sensei would not listen to me at all. Zenitsu spoke about the incident at the students' cafeteria which happened earlier. After listening to the entire story with a perplexed expression, Ringoku cheerfully expressed his opinion. Salmon braised with daikon doesn't sound bad. A combination of fish and vegetables is good for the body. Also, it's the right season for daikon. Its freshness is beneficial for health. The nutritional content is extremely high too. About that, go to the supermarket with me and then let's head to my house. No, wait, it would be better if the daikon and salmon were purchased separately from the fruits and vegetables store and the fishmonger. Like I was saying, we don't intend to. Don't be shy, I can lend you aprons. It's not that. Sensei, salmon and daikon are not suitable for putting into bentos, right? If they don't get partitioned properly, the white rice would become wet and sticky. None episodes, an image courtesy of Ultraviolet Heart Tumbrel. Wrong, you got it wrong too. Right, we have to cook the rice too. If you just eat the main dish, the nutrition would not be balanced. How about making mixed rice? Tian Japanese version is suian, which literally means boiled rice. But they are most likely referring to putting all the ingredients together in the rice cooker like making yam rice. That's a good idea, right? I'm going to go to the rice shop again. I already said it's not like that, no need to hold back. A teacher carries the important mission of interacting with their students. I already said, it's just that I don't want to be a prefect anymore. Zenitsu had the tragedy of being led in circles by a history teacher who was worse at listening to others than a certain other teacher, as well as his unexpectedly silly friend, and just like that, he wasted his after-school time. I didn't expect that Ringoku-sensei did not listen to me at all. In a store called the Aoi Family Restaurant, which was near Kimeto's Academy, after ordering iced coffee and sweet food to get rid of heavy and oily tastes, Zenitsu laid his head down on the table. He had thought that Ringoku would do everything perfectly, yet the food he cooked tasted extremely awful. In addition, it was not as though he failed on purpose, so one could not get angry teaching him. Just giving it a taste made his taste buds abnormal. At one point, Zenitsu was really mentally prepared to die. He did not want to see salmon and radish for the time being. And when we were finally done cooking, we got brought to the